Okay, and the computer models are a way to test hypotheses. So it's kind of like in science we have theory. People write down sort of equations and make predictions. We have experiments. But we also now have computer modeling, which has become a very big part of science, and in fact kind of a third sort of methodology for science. And so here's an example of a famous computer model. This fellow, Craig Reynolds, developed a model called Boyd's, which in 1987, which has become very famous. He's not a biologist. He's actually a computer graphics engineer, and he was interested in creating very realistic computer animations of biological phenomena. And a lot of the animations that you see in movies, for example, have come from the kinds of rules that he's tried to understand for natural phenomena. So here's the rules. Here's what each bird seems to do. So if you were a bird, you would first avoid collisions. Second, you would try and match your velocity with your nearby flock mates. And third, you'd attempt to stay close to your nearby flock mates. And the question is this sufficient for creating the kind of flocking or schooling behavior that we see? And we can try and verify this by building a computer model that does this kind of phenomena. And here's a model that he built of fish schooling using only those rules. And you can see that it's actually, I think, looks quite realistic. It's using sort of each individual is swimming in this simulated water environment, and they do seem to give off a very close impression of fish schooling. So I'm going to show you actually a live model of flocking using a computer tool called NetLogo, which allows us to build models very easily, where each bird says, if I'm too close to my nearest neighbor, I'm going to separate. Otherwise, I'm going to align, that is turn, so I'm headed in the same direction as the average of my neighbors. And then cohere, which means move closer to my nearest neighbors. So let's look at how that works. I'm going to actually just show you that model. Okay, this is a NetLogo where I can choose, I have a population of birds, so I'm going to, and I can change my parameters. So I'm going to start, let's say, with about 500.